Right, so the histogram, right, illustrates the lengths of telephone calls made to a customer helpline during one Friday evening. Alright, so the length of telephone calls during one Friday evening. Part A then says calculate how many telephone calls were made to computer helpline during the Friday evening. So when it talks about how many, it's asking for the frequency. Okay, frequency just means how many. And just remember, okay, on a histogram, they don't tell you the frequency, don't they? Here, this axis, it tells you the frequency density, okay? But we can get the frequency, we can work out how many by working out the areas of the bars, okay? So each bar is an area, and let's work them out. We can write it down here. So this bar here, it'll be 10 across and 1 high. So 10 times 1. That bar then will be 10 across and 6 high. So it'll be 10 times 6. This bar then will be 10 across and 10 high. So 10 times 10. This bar then will be 30 to 40, 10 across, 4 high, so 10 times 4. This bar then will be 10 across, 2 high, so 10 times 2. And this bar then will be 20 across, 1 high, so 20 times 1. That will tell you how many are in each block. So the first bar there, 10 times 1 is 10. So we've got 10 there. 10 times 6 is 60. So we've got 60 here. 10 times 10 is 100, so we've got 100 there. 10 times 4 is 40, so we've got 40 there. 10 times 2 is 20, so we've got 20 here. And then 20 times 1 is 20, so we've got 20 there. Obviously I need to add these up then. 10 and 60 is 70, 170, 210, 230, 250. Okay, so 250 calls were made. Okay, brilliant. Then it says, part B. Now this is interesting because it doesn't come up on questions we've looked at recently. Calculate an estimate for of the percentage of telephone calls that lasted longer than 3/4 of an hour. Okay, so lasted longer than 3/4 of an hour, we need to go to our histogram, and 3/4 of an hour, of course, is 45 minutes. Yeah, 45 minutes. So we go to 45 minutes here, and I'm going to draw a line at 45 minutes. Okay. And we're interested, of course, the ones that are longer than 45 minutes. So I'm going to go to this side of the line that I've drawn. And we just need to see how many calls we've got here. Now, obviously, it's this bar here, which is 20. And then we've got part of the bar here. And if you look closely, that's just half of this bar. So if we've got 20 in this bar, this half then will represent 10. So we've got 20 and 10, so we have 30. 30 calls lasted longer than 45 minutes. But we've got to be careful to answer the question, right? Because it's not asking for how many, right, lasted longer than 3/4 of an hour. It's asking for a percentage, okay, a percentage. It also says estimate, but don't worry about that word estimate. It's estimate because of the nature of this graph here, okay? So, you can ignore that word there, right? It's not important. Using this here, so we've got 20 and 10 is 30 calls, but we want a percentage of the telephone calls. Percentage, well, if there were 30 calls, 30 out of how many in total? 250 in total. So you've got a fraction, and of course to change it to a percentage, then you've got that there, times by 100. And, there's lots of ways you could simplify this. Okay, you could simplify the 100 and 250. Okay, 100, 250, well, 50 goes into 100 twice, doesn't it? 50 goes into 255 times. You could simplify it like that. 50 goes into them that amount of times. So then you've got 30 times 2, which is 60, over 5 then, and you get 12, so 12%. Okay? Happy with that? Good, good, good. Now, part C, it says estimate the median length of telephone calls made to the computer helpline during the Friday evening. So again, it says this word estimate. Don't worry about it. It's estimating because we're using the graph. Okay, that's why, right? And we're literally having a stab here at where the median is. The key again is going back to part A and realizing we have 250 calls. Okay, so 250 calls. It is 250. The median. Think about where the median will be if it's 250. The median is going to be the middle one, so that'll be the 125th call. Okay. It'll be that one there, halfway. So we've got to work out where 125 is here. Now look at the bars. We've got 10 here, we've got 60 here. That takes you to 70. Okay, 10 and 60 is 70. How many more do we need? It's 70 there. To get to 125, we need another 55. Is that right? Yeah? 55. So, we need to work out where 55 is going to be here. Okay? 55. Okay, well, we've got 100 already. Do you agree? 100 in this bar, we need 55 of them. Does that make sense? So if you think of that as a fraction, okay, if you think of it as a fraction, we need 55 out of here, out of 100. And if I write that down, 55 out of 100, okay, well, looking down here, 55 out of 100 as a fraction isn't going to really help me. But if I look down here, I can see there's like 10 squares there, yeah? Okay, so if I go back to this fraction, because I've written out of 100, let's change that fraction so it's out of 10, okay? And what I've done then is I've scaled it down, do you see that? So if I scaled it down, I've divided by 10, haven't I? Which means I'd need to then divide the top by 10. And 55 divided by 10 is 5.5. So basically we need 5.5 out of the 10. Okay, so since there's 10 squares here, you need to go across 5.5 and we end up here. Okay, so I could draw a line there. And what I've actually done then is I've divided this up, so I've got 55% this side. Okay, when you see it drawn, it's probably more clearer. So 55% is 45% this side. Okay, so 55 calls this side, 45 calls that side. So the time then would be this here, so it would be 25.5, yeah? That's what it would be, 25.5 minutes. Okay, and they said one decimal place, so we've got it there. Job done.